Jasper High School heading into year one at Jasper. I'm sure it's been a busy summer and off season for you as you get acclimated to a new program. What have you tried to implement over the past several months?
It's been a great summer. We've got good, hardworking kids that are smart and have put everything in that we can get in the summer. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes both offensively and defensively, and once we get into the regular season, we'll be putting in a lot of new things special teams wise, but I think the kids are picking it up quickly, probably as quickly or more quickly than some of our assistant coaches, because they've got young minds that can pick up changes, I guess you could say, both offensively, schematically, and defensively, schematically, and they've done a great job. It's been an exciting time this summer. We've been lifting, obviously practicing, and trying to get a lot of stuff in a short period of time.
Last 3 seasons for Jasper, 5-5, 8-3, 6-5. It's a community that really cares about their football team. It has to be exciting for you to have the opportunity to kind of change it and get it back to where expectations typically are in Jasper.
Well, I think expectations are always a good thing. Some people look at them as a bad thing, but we tend to look at it in a positive light. It makes you work that much harder. I'm sure it makes our kids work that much harder to live up to what former teams have done in the past. It's a great tradition. I'm excited to be a small part of it, and you know, the community, our school, the support we get from everybody in Jasper is something that drives you to work that much harder to uphold the standards of what has been done in the past. So we're looking forward to stepping on the field every Friday night with expectations again to win the football game, and we're going to compete. You know, our motto is Jasper always competes, and we're going to strive together to compete to be the best we can be.
You certainly had some great years at Wrights High School and competing at the SIAC. I know the focus is on this year, but next season, Jasper back in the SIAC has to feel maybe like it's kind of come full circle for you. How excited are you to compete in the SIAC after this year?
Well, I'm going to jump back to part of that question. We still have this year to worry about in the Big 8, and we were talking on the way up. Cale and Carson and I were talking about the importance of this year in the Big 8 and how we want to finish the Big 8 the right way in terms of how we play, how we compete, putting a good product on the field every Friday night. So Carson and Cale are seniors. This is their season, so that needs to be our focus. Obviously, you asked about the SIAC. I think it's Coach, obviously we've talked about this past week, but we're going to lose some of the rivalries with Southridge and Heritage Hills and obviously Boonville and Vincennes. Vincennes going to the SIAC, so we'll still play them, but losing those rivalries is a negative, but being in the SIAC, playing teams that we're going to play come playoff time, I think competition-wise in certain aspects is going to help us down the road, and obviously scheduling-wise, you know what your schedule is going to be every year, but you know, again, our focus is this year and doing it as well as we can do in the Big 8.
Carson and Cale, also along with the head coach Tony Lewis, will allow the other media to ask some questions.
For either player, just given the way that you guys have been kind of around 500 the last couple of years, what's the key to maybe break through and win the last Big 8 championship this year?
Yeah, we got to have our senior leaders step up and do their part and help get everybody committed and part of the program, and everybody just needs to come together and work hard as a team.
And then for you, what's it mean just being on the last Jasper team that plays in the Big 8? You know, a team that Jasper has so much history in. Just on the last Big 8 team, does that mean anything to you?
I mean, it doesn't really mean much to me, so.
The biggest thing for us is with it being the last year, as I said, we want to go out in a good fashion with the Big 8. And obviously, Mr. Lewis, our AD, and the powers that be made the decision to go to the SIAC, and we support that decision. But we're also excited about our last year in the Big 8 and making it the best that we can make it. And I think our seniors, you know, want to go out on a good note in the Big 8. And we only get the opportunity to play these teams one more time. You know, maybe down the road we see them in the sectional. Obviously, you know, we may see Boonville in the sectional or whatever. But for us, it's the last opportunity to play those teams, and they're going to obviously give us their best shot, and our goal is to compete as well as we can on that Friday night for one last time that we get to face those teams. Yes, sir.
This basically for the players, You guys have been around, you've been important on this team for a couple of years now. What's been the big difference in playing for Coach Aaron's last year and moving on to Coach Lewis this year?
Yeah, Coach Lewis has brought in some new schemes to the offense and defense and some new changes that I think will be really good for the team. And, we've been doing the same thing for a while now here at Jasper, and I think change will be a good thing.
Yeah, I agree with Carson. It's a fresh start. A lot of new leaders too. So
For the players growing up in Jasper, how cool is it just knowing in the future that your big rival, Vincent's Lincoln's still going to be part of your football schedule with both schools now moving together to the SIC in 2020?
Yeah, of course that's exciting. It's a big rivalry, and we'll be out to get them. So.
Anything for you?
I agree with Carson.
Okay.
All right, any more questions for Jasper? All right, thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.